In this video, we are going to understand the concept of C preprocessor. So first of all, let us understand what is a preprocessor. So as per the definition we have, preprocessor is a program that processes the source code before it passes through the compiler. Once again I repeat, preprocessor is a program that processes the source code before it passes through the compiler. So a preprocessor is a text processing tool. Basically, it preprocesses the program before it is compiled. So it is automatically used by the compiler. It performs the series of textual translation of input and returns pure C code to the compiler, and then it is compiled by the compiler. So preprocessor is a translation phase that is applied to the source code before the compiler gets its hands on it. So it operates under the control of preprocessor directive, which begins with the symbol hash. So always we find a hash symbol before the preprocessor directive. The preprocessor makes programs easier to develop, read and modify. That is one of the advantages of using preprocessor directives in our program. It also makes C code portable between different machine architectures and customizes the language. The preprocessor textual substitutions on your source code happen in three ways. So we can do it in three ways. They are: one is macro substitution directive, second one is file inclusion directive, and the third one is compiler control directive. So we can use these preprocessor directives in three different ways. The first one, macro substitution directive, file inclusion directive, and the third one is your compiler control directive. Let us understand the basic definition of these three directives. The first one is your macro substitution directive. It replaces instances of one piece of text with another. So let us only understand the basic definition of macro substitution directive. It replaces instances of one piece of text with another. In detail, we'll be looking with this macro substitution directive. The second one is the file inclusion directive. Inserting the contents of another file into your source code file, as if you had typed it all in there. So a separate file containing certain piece of code can be included in your own program using this file inclusive directive. And the third one what we have is your compiler control directive. So that is arranging the depending on various circumstances. Certain parts of your source code are seen or not seen by the compiler at all. So these are the basic definition of the three preprocessor directives: the macro substitution, file inclusion directive, and your compiler control directive. So let us understand the first directive, that is your macro substitution directive. So as the basic definition, it replaces every occurrences of identifier by a predefined string. Let me repeat, it replaces every occurrences of identifier by a predefined string. So the syntax for the macro substitution directive is hash define the identifier string. So remember, the syntax is hash define identifier string. So hash define is a directive that I am going to use, which will replace the identifier with its occurrences of a value that I have specified. So in an example, I have used hash define pi is an identifier with a value 3.142. So remember, there is no semicolon here, and we are not assigning equal to symbol also. So hash define max size 200. So the value 200 is assigned to the identifier max size in this. The value 3.142 is assigned to the identifier pi here. So let us see how we use this macro directive in our program. So we have a C program to demonstrate the macro substitution. A C program to calculate the area of circle. So we have a hash include stdio.h, hash define pi 3.142. So here I have defined a macro directive whose value of an identifier pi is 3.142. So the program is for calculating the area of circle. So radius is a variable that I have declared of type integer. Area is another variable of type float. So I ask a user to enter the radius of a circle. So once the scanf statement reads the radius, the value is replaced in the formula to calculate the area. So you can find, to calculate the area of a circle, we have formula area equal to pi into r, that is radius. So here you can see that pi I have not declared in the declaration part, but I have assigned the value of pi as 3.142 above the main function. Okay, so when the compiler comes across this identifier pi, it replaces the pi with the value 3.142. So the substitution of the value takes place here. So it, as I said, it replaces every occurrences of identifier by a predefined string. The predefined string here itself is 3.142. So wherever the pi occurs, the value 3.142 gets substituted. Now we know the value of pi, we have read the value of radius, the expression gets evaluated and the area gets calculated, and I print the area of circle is. Okay, or we have one more example to demonstrate the macro substitution. Here we have hash include stdio.h. I have defined pi again as 3.142. So I am just using a printf statement in my main program to display the value of pi. So here the pi value gets replaced by the string defined above the main function. Okay, so the important note to remember here is that there is no semicolon needed, okay, as the delimiter at the end of the hash define line. As I already told you, there is no semicolon here. You don't require a semicolon as a delimiter at the end of the hash define line. So that is an important thing that you need to remember. This is all about your macro substitution. Okay, the next part what we have is a file inclusive directive. So in this file inclusive directive, an external file containing a function macro definition can be included using hash include directive. So an external file containing a function macro definition can be included using hash include directive. So we are using a hash include directive to include a file in my program. So how do I do that? The syntax is hash include the angular brackets and the file name I need to specify, or hash include in double quotes I need to specify the external file name that I want to include in my file. So here also we don't have a semicolon. So let us see how we use this hash include directive in our program. Already we have seen it many times in our previous program. So let us have a C program to demonstrate file inclusive directive. So we have this hash include stdio.h. So we already know what is the full form of stdio.h. It is a standard input output header file used to support the standard input statement scanf and the standard output statement printf. So we have a hash include stdio.h file which gives the supporting instructions for the function printf and scanf. So I have a printf function used in my program which prints a message, welcome to C program. So the instructions which define this function printf are available in the stdio.h header file, and which I am including in my program using the hash include directive. So the definition of printf statement is present in the stdio.h file. So this was all about your file inclusive directive. The next directive what we have is a compiler control directive. So a C processor offers a features known as conditional compilation, which can be used to switch on or off a particular line or group of lines in a program. Okay, so it's a conditional compilation. It will decide whether to execute a particular set of instructions or no. How? We just look it with an example. We have hash if, hash else, hash endif, etc. So these are the compiler control directives. Okay, so we have a small program to demonstrate the compiler control directive. We have this hash include stdio.h. I have defined hash define line as 1. So wherever we find this line, it will be replaced by 1. So we have hash if def line. If def is the defined line. Whether the line is been defined? Yes, the line is been defined as 1. Already we have defined it. So it tells printf the line number is 1. Suppose if I had not defined the line as 1, this would have given 0 as false, and it would have went to the other part, that is the else part, and it will say printf the line number 2. This is line number 2. So the printf after this if def line gets executed only when the condition is true. So here the condition is true as we have defined the line as 1. So if define line, yes, I have defined the line as 1. The value 1 is already present in line. So I have defined it. So it is true. So this printf statement gets executed. Suppose if I wouldn't have defined this line as 1, then this statement wouldn't have returned true. It would have returned it as false. And when this statement returns false, the else part comes into picture, and the line that gets printed is printf. This is line number 2. And hash endif ends the definition of if. So this is all about your file inclusive directive. So in this presentation we saw the details of the C processor directives. Thank you.